So boys, we are back with some more Redskins franchise mode here in Madden NFL 19, and today we're going to take a look at the rest of the season after we lost out in the divisional game against the Saints. A heartbreaker, 28-23 is our final score after we lose in New Orleans. But we're going to go sim to the next week and see the conference championships. The divisional matchups last week, we had the Jags and the Chargers. Chargers lost 31-21 in that game against Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles, see his stats in the game. 115, 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Not that good of a game overall, but Philip Rivers, 179 and a touchdown. Rushing-wise, we had 140 from Leonard Fournette. He saved the day. Even Mark Ingram there, the combo right there, the tandem at running back. 140 for Fournette and 121 for Ingram on a touchdown each. And then Melvin Gordon had 62 and a touchdown, and Akeeler had a touchdown as well. And then receiving yards wise, we had 70 from Keenan Allen and a touchdown, 59 for Tyrell Williams, 33 for Austin Seferian-Jenkins and a touchdown. And that's pretty much about it. Then defensively, we had 10 tackles from Perriman. And then sacks, we had a whole bunch of sacks right there. Interceptions wise, we had 1 interception from Hayden and 1 from Desmond King. Just want to see kicking wise. Anyone miss? It's Steven Hauschka there, 1 for 1, but other than that, nothing else there. That's pretty much about it for that game with the Jags and the Chargers. Then Cowboys, Eagles. Eagles won 21-16. They're moving on to the conference championships for the 3rd year in a row. The Eagles, Wentz had 187 and a touchdown and 1 interception. And Dak Prescott played well, 260 and 2 touchdown passes for 0 interceptions. Completion, we have Dak having 57%. Wentz had 60. Rushing-wise, 117, 2 touchdowns for Jay Ajayi, 82 for Zeke. Receiving yards wise, Terrence Williams led the day, 112, 70 for Ertz, 57 for Kendall Wright and a touchdown, and that's about it. Then defensively, we had 12 tackles from Maurice Alexander. Sacks, we had a couple sacks, actually a lot of sacks in that game. A lot of ones, and then interceptions, 1 for Sean Lee. And then kicking wise, we had 1 for 2 for Aldrich Rosas, and 0 for 1 for Jake Elliott. Okay. That's pretty much about it there for that game between Philly and Dallas. But then there's Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Pittsburgh demolished the Bills. They're 34-14. 20-point W there. And let's see Big Ben. 168, 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Bridgewater had 147 and touchdown and 2 interceptions. Then completion percentage 46% for Teddy, 54 for Big Ben. Rushing-wise, Le'Veon had 101, 59 for LaShawn McCoy, 43 for Robert Kelly. Receiving yards wise, we had 67 for James Washington leading the day. Adam Humphries had 49 and a touchdown. Antonio Brown only had like 39 and a touchdown as well. Then defensively, we had 12 tackles for Joe Thomas. And sacks wise, we had 1.5 sacks for Tremaine Edmonds. Then interceptions, we had 1 for Edmonds, 1 for Nick, and 1 for Joe Hayden. Then kicking wise, we had 2 for 2 for Stephen Gostkowski. And that's pretty much about it for that game. So our next matchups in the conference, we have the Jags and the Steelers, and the Saints and the Eagles. So the Eagles can go to 3 Super Bowls in a row if they win this one against the Saints and the Steelers and the Jags. I think Steelers would be going back-to-back Super Bowl appearances if they win this one as well. So we'll see about that. Jacksonville pulls off the upset against the Steelers, 28-24. Jacksonville's moving on, and Philadelphia demolished the Saints, 35-0. That's your Super Bowl matchup. The Eagles and the Jags in this Super Bowl 54 matchup. We're going to see the Jags and Blake Bortles upset those Steelers. So Blake Bortles had 298, 3 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions. Big Ben only had 184 and a touchdown. Whereas 60% completion percentage for Blake Bortles and 44 for Big Ben. Rushing-wise, 103 for Le'Veon Bell and 2 touchdowns. Good game for him, but still, his Steelers didn't win, and Leonard Fournette had 65 and a touchdown. Receiving yards wise, we had Marquise Lee, 95. We have 91 for D.D. Westbrook and a touchdown, 70 for Mark Ingram and a touchdown, and 42 for Juju Smith-Schuster and a touchdown. Whereas Antonio Brown, only 39 yards receiving. I thought he'd have more in a big game like that. Sacks wise, there's all the sacks led up by the Steelers offensive linemen. Joe Hayden had 10 tackles, Telvin Smith had 10 tackles. Sacks wise, we had 1 sack for Campbell, 1 sack from Malik Jackson, and so on down that list. Interceptions wise, we had 2 interceptions for Joe Hayden and 1 for Artie Burns. Then kicking wise, we had Stephen Gostkowski, 1 for 1 from 29 yards out. And then nothing on the punt return and nothing on the kick return as well. So that was that big game. The Jags came up on the Steelers and won that one. So now we'll go to the next game, which is that the demolition of the Saints, 35-0. After Carson Wentz, 263, 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception. And Drew Brees only 84 yards passing, 0 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, and a 47% completion percentage, whereas looks like Carson Wentz went all over the Saints defense, 65%. Then rushing-wise, we had 94 for C.J. Anderson and a touchdown, 52 for Clement, their backup running back, and a touchdown, 51 for Alvin Kamara, and 19 for LeGarrette Blount. And receiving yards-wise, we had 77 for Kendall Wright and a touchdown, 45 for Nelson Aguilar and a touchdown, 40 for Ertz, 40 for Jeffrey, 25 for C.J. Anderson and a touchdown, and that's about it. Then we have, let's see, blocking-wise, how many sacks let up? All by the Saints, 3 sacks blamed. Then Nigel Bradham, Watkins, and Marshawn Lattimore all at 10 tackles. Then sacks, we had 2 sacks for Fletcher Cox, 1 for Bradham, 1 for Bennett, and 1 for Derek Barnett. Interceptions, we have 1 interception for Patrick Robinson, and that's about it. Kicking-wise, 0 kicks at all in the day for both kickers, and nothing kick return, and nothing punt return as well. So, 1 game was a blowout, 1 game was very close. Now it's Super Bowl time, but it's time, before we do anything in the Super Bowl, it's time to look at our Pro Bowl teams this season. I want to see if any of our players made it on the Pro Bowl. I think we have at least 1 or 2, though. We had a good year, though, for the most part, so we got to have at least 1 or 2. So take a look at NFC first, because we are on the NFC. MVP Carson Wentz, quarterback 1. We have Drew Brees, Matt Ryan. So we have Zeke, David Johnson, Alvin Kamara. So you have no Darius Geiser at running back. Actually kind of surprising, but if you have like David Johnson and Zeke and Kamara in your conference, it's going to be obvious who's going to be picked over you. But still, for fullbacks, we have like Renew. Then receivers, we have Julio, Michael Thomas, Randall Cobb made it, Alshon Jeffrey, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. Tight end, we have Zach Ertz. We have Jordan Hill. We have Jordan Reed there. He made it. Cool. Then we have left tackle Trent Williams. He made it. Then we have Smith. Then at left guard, we have Wisniewski. You have Luke Jokel. Our backup left guard made it. Actually, Luke Jokel did make it. I forgot he was actually on our team, and he actually made the Pro Bowl as a backup. That is insane to see that. So, I don't know how we didn't get like Scherf right there, or even Michael Jordan, but hey, at least one of our players made it on the Pro Bowl on the offensive line. His name is going to be Luke Jokel. So Luke made it there left guard, and then we have Jason Kels there, and then you have Frederick Brooks at right guard. Brandon Scherf made it. Okay, good. He made it. So our backups for right guard, backups, we have 2 guards that made it on the Pro Bowl. That's pretty good. Then right tackle, we have Lane Johnson, we have Malloy, we have Cam Jordan, who basically ended our season there at the Pro Bowl, Vic Beasley, Aaron Donald, Crawford, Buckner, Fletcher Cox at D-tackle, Kenny Clark at D-tackle. Ryan Kerrigan made it at left outside linebacker. E. Buckham made it at left. We have Jones, Luke Kuechly at middle linebacker. Then you have Lavonte David there at right. You have right outside linebacker. We have Marshawn Lattimore, Hughes, Alford, and Awazi at corner. Then at free safety, you have Earl Thomas. We have the rookie, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson at free safety. He made it as a rookie. Strong safety of Cam Chancellor. We have Baker. Then at kicker, we have Jake Elliott. And your Redskins punter, Tress Way, made it onto the Pro Bowl. Then the kick returners, we have Travis and we have Gibson. So we have, in total, we have Tress Way on the Pro Bowl. That's 1. Then we have, it looks like 2 there with Kerrigan. Then we have 3 with Scherf. 4 with Luke, then 5 with Trent Williams, 6 with Jordan Reed, and that is about it. So you have 6 Pro Bowlers this season, which is very good to see that. Then AFC, there's the AFC right there. You have Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Mariota, Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, McMichael. We have Cox at fullback as well. Then wide receiver, we have Hopkins, we have Hill, Keenan Allen, Matthews, Benjamin, the 2 Benjamins. Tight end, we have David Njoku, we have Hunter Henry, Tyler Eifert. Left tackle, we have Tevi, Pace. And then at left guard, we have Norwell, Joel Batonio. Then at center, we have Linder and Pouncey. Then at right guard, we have Lamp and DeCastro. Right tackle, we have Barksdale and Dotson. Left end, we have Mack and Campbell. Right end, we have Myles Garrett and Murphy. D-tackle, we have Jackson and Nadati, and as well as Godshow. Left is a linebacker, we have Dupree, we have Hightower, and at middle linebacker, we have Mosley and Ryan Shazier as a Dolphin. Right outside linebacker, you have Milano and Vontaze Burfict. At corner, we have Fuller, Smith, Jackson, and Ward. Free safety of Harmon and Boston. Strong safety of Vicario and Hyde. Kicker, we have Parkey, and at punter, we have Colquitt. And kick returners, we have Henderson and Joe Mixon there at punt returner. So those are your AFC and NFC teams. We have 6 Pro Bowlers this season. I'm very happy about that. But now we're going to move on to the next thing, which is our Super Bowl. So Super Bowl wise, I'm going to sim to the next week and check out that matchup. So Super Bowl 54, we have the Eagles and we have the Jaguars on that Sunday. So we'll take a look quickly at those teams just to see what they're kind of about, because we have Carson Wentz and the Eagles. Then we also have Blake Bortles and the Jaguars. I just want to get a quick refresher on Blake Bortles first, because we haven't really seen much about him yet this season, whereas we've seen Carson Wentz before a lot this season, what kind of a team he has around him. But quarterback, we have Blake Bortles, 81 overall, 27 years old. We have Cody Kessler at backup quarterback. Running backs, they have Leonard Fournette, who's 93 overall, and an 83 overall Mark Ingram at backup. Then fullback, they have a 66 overall Arma. Wide receiver, they have D.D. Westbrook at 85, Marquise Lee at 84, Keelan Cole 81, you have DJ Chark at 75, and Walter Scott at 73. Tight end, they have Austin Seferian Jenkins at 83, and then we have Nada at backup tight end at 75 overall. And then at left tackle, we have Cam Robinson, 75 overall. Left guard, we have 92 overall Andrew Norwell. Center, we have Brandon Linder, 91 overall. Right guard, we have AJ Can, 71 overall. Right tackle, you have Jeremy Parnell, 75. Left end, you have Calais Campbell, 88. Then at right end, we have Nagaku at 91 overall, 24 years old. D tackle, you have Malik Jackson, 85. And Darius at 83. And then left outside linebacker, we have Miles Jack, 88 overall, 23 years old. Middle linebacker, you have Blair Brown, 71 overall. And at right outside linebacker, you have Telvin Smith at 91 overall. Cornerback, you have Jalen Ramsey, who's 99 overall. And a 95 overall corner as well, and AJ Boy at that position. Free safety, you have Tashawn Gibson, 85. Strong safety, you have Barry Church, 81. Kicker, we have Steven Hauschka at a 79. Punter, we have Logan Cook at a 75. And that's about it for the Jaguars. And the Eagles, we already have an idea what they are anyway, so there's nothing really big in that. But I just want to see if there's any injuries on both sides before this game, because at this point, you'd have a few injuries at least on your team, unless you're just magically gifted with the power. And looks like the Jaguars are gifted, I guess. They have no injuries. The Eagles, on the other hand, let's see what they are at. And they had no injuries as well, so it's even, no injuries against both teams, so it's a pretty even matchup there between the Eagles and the Jaguars. So let's go and sim that matchup and see who wins this Super Bowl 54. 3 years in a row they've made it to the Super Bowl, 2 years in a row they've won it, and this time it is broken, the streak is over, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are your Super Bowl champions. So they won 26-23 in a heartbreaker against the Eagles, as it looks like the Jacksonville Jaguars put up 15 points in the fourth quarter to go and win it. So it looks like going into the fourth, it was 14-11. So it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles blew their lead and they lost it in the end against Blake Bortles, who is now a Super Bowl champion. So Blake Bortles put up 237, 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception, both great performances by the quarterbacks. As Carson Wentz also had 303 passing, 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception as well. And for completion percentage, we have 67% for Carson Wentz and an outstanding 79% for Blake Bortles at the highest stage possible in football. So, insane game out of Blake Bortles. As running backs wise, Leonard Fournette, 68 yards rushing, 55 for Jay Ajayi, 31 for Mark Ingram, and 10 for Corey Clement. Receiving yards wise, we have Alshon Jeffrey led the Super Bowl, 110 and a touchdown, 77 for D.D. Westbrook and a touchdown, 70 for Zach Ertz, 52 for Keelan Cole and a touchdown, 46 for Mark Ingram and a touchdown, and so on down that list. And then blocking wise, Norwell and Ruman led up sacks. Defensively, 11 tackles for Jordan Hicks, and so on down that list. I'll just go to the very bottom to show all the stats. And then we'll go and sort by sacks. So, sacks-wise, you have 1 sack for Jernigan, 1 sack for Darius, and 1 sack for Nagaku. Then interceptions-wise, we have only 1 interception for Bradham and 1 for Jalen Ramsey. Then kicking-wise, 1 for 1 for Jake Elliott. Wasn't enough to win the Super Bowl. Punting-wise, there's the punts. Kick return wise, that's all the kick returns, and punt return wise, that's all that right there. So, your champions of this 2019 season go to the Jacksonville Jaguars after pulling off the upset against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's pretty crazy to say that Blake Bortles is now a Super Bowl champion, but now the season is over. We've got some regression, we've got some progression, I guess, in some players, but mainly just regression. As you take a look around our team, Alex Smith, now an 80 overall, not really looking that good, I guess. The rest of the team, you have a few developing, I guess, like we have Darius Geis, who's now in superstar development, 81 overall, not bad. Jordan Reed's at a 95 overall, which is not too bad, too. Then at right tackle, we have Moses, who's still injured. Brandon Scherf's 91 overall at the confidence boost. Braden Smith still 74. Michael Jordan still 77. And then we have Trent Williams, who's now down to an 89 overall with the confidence boost. Then defensively, we have at middle linebacker, we have Zach Brown, who's down to an 86 with the confidence boost. An 81 overall Kerrigan there with the confidence boost as well. We have Devin White at an 80 overall. Arakput at 77. Then defensively, on the D-line, we have 80 overall Jonathan Allen, 81 overall Ioannidis, 79 overall Dayron Payne. Then at corner, we have 80 overall Dunbar, 81 overall Mullen. And at strong safety, we have 89 overall DJ Swearinger. And then we have a 78 overall at Monte Nicholson there at free safety. But as for the rest, like special teams, we have Tressway still 81 overall, Dan Bailey still 80 overall, not bad. And that seems to be about it there for the starters, regression and progression. But anyway, next episode will be the re-signings and the free agency, so stay tuned for that. And make sure to like and subscribe for more Redskins franchise mode. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.